What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is Wednesday. It is Wednesday workshop, and do I have someone who's going to help us on today? So come on in the room, people. Today is Wednesday, June the 30th, 2021. This is the last day of the month of June. So come on in the room, people. Come on in the room. Let me know who's out here. I want to see your faces. Hey, do me a favor. Go ahead and take a selfie and put it in a thread so we can see how excited you are on each Wednesday morning. Good morning, Patricia Lyles. Good morning, Stephanie Burbridge Hall. Good morning, Regina Short. Good morning, Dr. Kim Carter. Good morning, Diane Ladybug. Good morning, Marion and Yvonne. Good morning, Pastor Overflow Dawson. Good morning, Kenny Stanley. Good morning, Gwendolyn Wright. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. Y'all not playing today. You are coming up in the room today. You are coming up in the room. Good morning, Gracie. Good morning, Deborah Johnson. Good morning, Latrice Jones. Good morning, Pastor Alex Williams. Y'all not playing, and I have such a guest who's going to hang out with us this morning. Good morning to my biological brother, Louis Pryor III. First things first, because my lap is about to overflow. Good morning, Pastor Antoinette. We had actually two winners. We had a winner, but it kept bringing up a first runner-up. And I was like, why is this system doing this? But we just said we're going to go with it. So for the person who was the runner-up of last week, and I'll put all the answers in the thread later today, or one of us will. Good morning, Kimberly Grace. But the first gift, the person who was a runner-up goes to Yvonne Gardner. Yvonne, you're getting a stack of paparazzi jewelry from, of course, Latrice Jones. So check her out. You're also getting a News in Motion t-shirt, short sleeve women. And you also will get a journal, and yes, it's orange. And you will also get, now y'all probably saying, what? You will also get, these are the bomb, boom. Mornings are for mimosa, stack of napkins. Now, you also get something else, but they're not in yet. You also are going to get a mimosa glass that says NIM on the front of it. So this is all for Yvonne Gardner, who is the first runner-up. Is Ron Robinson on here this morning? I got to figure out what to do with this. Is Ron Robinson on here this morning? Ron Robinson, are you on here this morning? Y'all, the winner is Ron Robinson. So Ron Robinson will, of course, get the t-shirt. He will get a bigger journal for men. He will also receive the mimosa napkins. And y'all, let me tell you about these mimosa napkins. Y'all, Kenya Noel, she was out. I love it when y'all out thinking about news in motion. She was out. She said, hey, Gail Dudley, look at what I found. I think there's like 8 packs here. I said, okay, girl, grab all 8. So she did. And so then we met up and she gave them to me. So Ron Robinson, but Ron, where are you, Ron? This is yours too, Ron. Yep, this is yours too, Ron. I guess it's upside down. This is yours too, Ron Robinson. So congratulations. Thank you all. I got to put this down. So hold on, y'all. Wait 1 minute. I got to put this down. Y'all, thank you all for, it's going to all hit the floor, but it's okay. Thank you all for participating with us during our anniversary week and being a supporter of News in Motion. We are so grateful to all of you. We wish we could make all of you a winner. You know, one day maybe I'll be like Oprah and go, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Or maybe I can say, you get a trip, you get a trip, you get a trip. Or maybe I can say, we all going on a cruise. 5 years from now when coronavirus is gone. And maybe I could do that. But right now it's just small, but we still want to say thank you. Thank you for your support and thank you for hanging out with us. So somebody let Ron Robinson know he won, because he was all up in my business on Sunday when we were celebrating Isaiah Jones for graduating from high school. So y'all, thank you for hanging out with us and for playing the games with us, the trivias and all of that. So we're really excited. Okay, y'all, I got a powerhouse on here who's going to be sharing with us today. I don't know if you've seen the my Facebook wall, but if you ever thought about having a podcast or doing radio or whatever, anything in broadcasting, I have a jewel, I have an expert, I have an audio engineer who's going to be joining us just in a few moments. But hello to everyone. Hello to everyone over there on YouTube. Hello to everyone who's doing anything when it comes to checking out News in Motion. If you're on Patreon, hello to you as well. Yep, yeah, we're connecting all the dots and we're so excited. I can't wait. But guess what? We got to slow down just a little bit because we got to do the intro. So y'all, we're back. So let's get started first with our quote for today. We're so excited about our quote for today. We've been having this quote for a couple of days now, and bam, there it is. I am not concerned with your liking or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being. And that is Jackie Robinson. Y'all, we're still throwing up orange hearts today for Mackenzie Fidley. So y'all throw up those orange heart and just put for Mackenzie, hearts for Mackenzie. So we're throwing those up. Now, y'all, we protest when we have police brutality in the Black community. Make sure you're protesting the same thing in the white community. Have y'all heard about this? Yeah, this is image from 9 News reporting. Say his name, Hunter Britton. Protests are being held in the USA after sheriff deputies shot and killed a 17-year-old man during a traffic stop who was trying to fix his car. Hunter Britton was driving a truck that was stopped by a deputy identified as Sergeant Michael Davis in Arkansas. TV station KATV reported family members say that Hunter Britton was working on his truck at 3 a.m. and was heading to his construction job at 6 a.m. They said his friend Jordan King, age 16, was with Mr. Britton and said the pair were pulled over after leaving the car garage. Mr. King, that's Jordan, the 16-year-old, said that Hunter Britton truck wouldn't go into park. So he got out to get oil jug to put behind his vehicle tires to trying to stop from hitting Sergeant Davis's car. Now, they said that the sergeant didn't say one word to them. He just opened fire. So if y'all want to be upset about the Black community when there's police brutality, let's make sure we're being upset. Good morning, Josh. Upset about any type of killing. I see you, Ron Robinson. Did you hear that you won, Ron Robinson? But anyway, y'all, we need to also pray for Hunter Biden's family. His grandmother is asking for answers. And y'all, let me tell you about this group of protesters. I've never heard this in my life. Yes, Deborah, it's outrageous. Y'all, this group of protesters went to the sheriff's department. They rolled up in their pickup trucks and they've been doing leaving tire marks, demanding them to come out. And now y'all get this. The sheriff came out and said, we need y'all not to do that. Excuse me? What? Where's all the other stuff too that y'all go after them like y'all come after us? But regardless, y'all, we want police brutality to stop. We also want a ceasefire so that we're not seeing people kill people. We need to come to a ceasefire across. Good morning, Riakis. See how that's the outrage. Now, y'all, and thanks to Oscar for sending me this one. Let me see if I have yep, I do. Bam. Y'all, Toyota done messed up. Yeah. Axios is reporting nearly 36 corporate PACs have donated at least $5,000 to Republicans who rejected to certify the 2020 election. Yet Toyota leads by a substantial margin. Yep, 37. Yep. Now, y'all, this is what Toyota had to say. They said, we do not believe it is appropriate to judge members of Congress solely based upon their votes on the electoral certification. They go on to say, we back the ones that we support. That's a Toyota spokesperson who made a statement emailed to Axios. Now, y'all, of course, Twitter's on fire. Twitter is not taking any prisoners. Twitter is letting them have it. Twitter to name their new car Toyota Sedition. And people are like literally taking their cars and their keys and turning them in, going to a Toyota dealership and turning them in. People are up there tagging and talking about, I had a Lexus since 2012. I'm giving it up, or my lease is up. Y'all just go to Twitter, go to Toyota, and see what the people are saying. Somebody made a report and said, I would hate to be the PR person for Toyota today. They are in a pickle, and Toyota's saying they standing by what they're saying. People are turning in their Prius. People are turning in their 4Runners. People are turning in their Lexus trucks. People are like, they are getting out of their lease or their loan. And here's this. Other companies, other automobile companies are reaching out to people saying, hey, come where you live. Hey, check out, go to this dealership. We'll hook you up. We'll take your loan. We'll do this. I'm like, in a minute, Toyota's going to be off the street. I'm like, who does that? That was an epic fail. Even if you believe it, you don't put it out there like that. All right, we're almost close to getting our guest, but I got to talk about Serena Williams real quick. Y'all, she didn't make it. She had to, what they call, retire after the first round at Wimbledon champion. She hasn't retired completely, so stop saying that. I think they do wrong by using that word retire. So people are out here saying Serena retired for life. She has not retired for life. Now, she may come back and do that, but she had an injury. She slipped. She walked off. The fans saluted her. She was in tears. She thanked her fans. She went on Instagram. She thanked them again. But she's like, I don't know. She's 39. Is her term up? I don't know. Demia, Toyota's in trouble. It was just crazy. It was just really crazy. I'll be honest, y'all know what I drive, right? And I'm like, I'm going to have to get this up. So I made a tweet and I tagged Volvo USA. I was like, can you hook a sister up? Because I can't drive this no more. So anyway, because I believe in, and there were military people, and I'm jumping around, y'all. Let me go back to Toyota for a moment because I see all of y'all's comments. There were military people on there talking about their Capitol police officer who was in the military with them died. And they're like, stand for military. So there's a lot of service men and women out there saying, stand with us. And they were telling Toyota that they were wrong. And it's okay to have your perspective, but you don't have to let the world know. So anyway, so there's that. I'm done with that. All right, y'all. So Serena Williams, let's pray for her. Williams led 3-1 in the first set. Again, she's 39 years old. She appeared to have slipped and hurt herself. Williams left the court for medical attention. Then she returned back to the match, and it was tied to 3-3. Williams buckled at the baseline midpoint before gingerly walking off the court in tears, acknowledging her fans as she departed. Here's her quote. I was heartbroken to have to withdraw today after injuring my right leg. She put in an Instagram post. She goes on to say, my love and gratitude are for the fans and the team who make being on center court so meaningful. So that's the words of Serena Williams. So let's just pray for her. It seems like a lot of people are having a hard time right now. And people have said that center court is very slippery. They're saying that center court, even people who have played earlier said that center court is very slippery. All right, y'all, I can't hold off anymore because this girl right here is thebomb.com. Her name is Gina Winks. I met Gina probably a couple years ago through Nelly. Everybody knows Nelly. Nelly is your girl. If you want anything with sales coaching, you want to check out Nelly. I'm going to get Nelly on the show too. But right now we're going to have Gina. Gina is thebomb.com. Let me tell you. Gina, when everything was going on with me and my podcast, Chrissy, another person who's a part of this calling the Three Musketeers, Chrissy was like, have you talked to Gina? So Gina and I had a conversation. She was on a long list with other people I was speaking with about my podcast. I know after I got canceled by that other person, whatever, the articles on Medium, I got delivered from that, but whatever. But Gina just opened my eyes to everything. We had a 45-minute conversation, and I was like, I didn't know half these things. And Gina kept saying, they didn't tell you that? No. They didn't tell me none of this. My eyes got open. And Gina is just a sweetheart. So let me just tell you about her. She's a founder. And I don't know if you're going to have to tell me, Gina, when I bring you on here, are the initials GINX or do you say the words? You're going to tell me that when you come on here. Media. She is an audio engineer of over 10 years of experience in sound production, sound design, and podcast production. Gina has made her mission to help people who want to make an impact on the world and are passionate about sharing their message, story, cause, business offerings. Learn how to leverage podcasting or optimize their existing, show how to create a deep connection with their ideal audience through her full service professional podcast consultation, audio editing, and recording services. Y'all want to hire her, seriously. Don't be talking about how much does it cost. Just hire her. It goes on to say, I went to her blog and found more. It says, I've been working in the audio industry again for 10 years. When I brought my focus into podcast production, I immediately fell in love with helping podcasters create an amazing experience for their listeners. From the beginning, I spoke with so many amazing people who had in their hearts to start up a podcast, but had no idea where to start because of the rabbit hole of information that is on the internet. She says hundreds, if not thousands of opinions of audio equipment, software, hosting, and sites. And hear me, I hear you don't need any of that. Contradictions that are caused by multiple sources from different backgrounds. Whirlwinds of information that cause confusion and stress rather than any form of guidance. She says she's on a mission to change this. I'm telling you now, y'all, hit the share button and tell your people, anybody who's talking, listen, anybody who has a book, they want a podcast. Anybody who is a speaker, they want a podcast. Anybody who's in ministry, they want a podcast. Anybody who's cause-based, an advocate, they want a pod. Anybody who's a medical doctor, a counselor, a dance, whoever, look, everybody needs a podcast. Everybody needs one. So go ahead and hit the share button and say, you better come on over here. And to all of our Patreon members, we're going to have Gina back to do a whole workshop on Patreon. So trust me, if you want to be a Patreon member to get all of it, you want to go ahead and join Patreon. So let me bring Sister Girl in here. Boom. Hello.
Hello, Gail. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome.
I can hear you.
Thank you so much for having me on here.
Yes, you might want to turn up just a little bit, Gina.
It's
as she's doing it, I'm gonna show y'all this image real quick. There she is. Come on in the room. All right. So, Gina, I'm getting ready to turn this over to you.
All right, I know, and it's funny because I'm on a different setup than I usually am, so that's why this is strange to me. So hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yep. Now when you're closer, I can hear you good.
Okay. Well, then I'll get really close.
So let us know. We want to know everything you need to know. Everything we need to know. So right. You got about 15 minutes, maybe a little less. When I pop back on, you got to wrap up, but that's okay because then those who want to join will hear you later on Patreon. But talk to us. What do we need? What are the myths? What are the truths? Go for it. Break it down for us, girl.
All right, let's go. So I just again want to thank you so much, Gail, for having me on here. I am passionate about helping people get their stories heard. And one of the first things that I know you mentioned you've had questions about are like, is that podcast market oversaturated? And I wanted to start off right then and there to answer that question. My quick and easy answer is no, it is not oversaturated. And what I want to first talk about in regards to that is the fact that look at YouTube. There are so many YouTube channels that exist and have existed. And if you have children that are younger or anyone who gets into that YouTube rabbit hole, which is a fantastic rabbit hole where you can learn and have so much fun. There are tons of people talking about, in my case, I think of my son, he watches people talk about different games or the same games, different people talking about the same games, but they all still have their followers. So you got to think of it that way in regards to your podcast. You can't think, oh no, what if this is done already been done before? What if it's already being done? Or what if it'll be done after I go in and do it? You can't think of that. You're just thinking of you and the people that you know you want to and will reach. So I always like to acknowledge that is your experience and your voice is different from anyone else's, regardless of if the subject matter is the same as others. So I always like to make that super crystal clear, because everyone has that question like, oh my God, there's so many podcasts. Well, there are so many more podcasts to be had. And one thing I always also like to, one thing I always like to point out is you have that experience no one else has. You have the audience that trusts you, and as you listen and as you speak and let others speak their story, if you have guests on, you get to build trust with the community in a way that's very different from other platforms. Because as a podcast host, you are reaching people, and well, they get to listen as they live, versus like they're not having to stop to watch a video. They're not having, they're not having to worry about like if they're driving, like, and they want to see something, a visual, and they can't. No, if you're driving your laundry, you're doing workout, you're doing all these things, they get to listen as they are doing these things, which is a huge way to help, get them through whatever they want. And I like what Gail said. Everyone, there are so many people that can have a podcast, that need to have a podcast to help their voice get heard. And they, and for that reason, because like the platforms are for different types of people and for different situations. So I always like to start off right then in there. And one of the questions she said that you as a community have come to her with questions of like how much time is involved in a podcast and how to start and where to start, which is everyone's question. How much time is involved is really dependent on what type of podcast you have, and how in depth you want to go. From my experience as an audio engineer, and what my goal is for my clients, which is a specific type of podcast host, is to make sure that the audio is crystal clear. And the reason that's so important is because there will be no distractions. I can make that dog barking disappear. I can make the sirens in the background disappear. And why is that important? That's important because, especially like someone for me who's ADD, when you have these little sounds that are happening in the background, you get distracted from the focus of that subject that's happening in the podcast. So I help to create the experience of a zero distraction situation, and make it so that when those listeners are there, they're focused on your voice, your message. And there's something that happens in your system subconsciously when you are hearing someone's voice directly, and you're hearing the smiles, you're hearing the cracks in their voice when they're about to cry. When you want to have that level of quality, there is more time involved. And that is one reason that there are many podcasts that will start, and by the 7th episode, they will be done. And that's like 60 or some percent of people who start podcasts, because it is a project and it is an ongoing thing that you get to like really prepare for and have that content planned ahead. So I always like to say that, yes, everyone there, I truly believe that everyone could have a podcast and does need a podcast to have that voice. But if you're not, you want to make sure to know that you will be investing time, even if that time is just interviewing and then dropping that interview into the host site, which is where like it goes out to Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or wherever. So yes, time is involved, but it is so worth it because of the community and the trust that you build through that value you give in a podcast. And that can be if you are an author and you're creating a story that no one else could ever create in an audio world, whether you're an educator, whether you're someone like Gail, where you want to bring out the news, but also have your personality show, bring on guests of your expertise. And that's a cool thing is if you have something that you want people to know about, you bring on experts to gain more content. And as you bring on experts, you gain more community. So time is involved, lots, but it's worth it. And you just have to come in with that expectation of like, this is not just a quick thing. It deserves that time investment. How to start there? I have actually a couple different things that I help in this process. But what I like to say is we need to get crystal clear on why the show exists, who your audience is, and you like just find the show and why it exists, who the audience is, and then you go and you create your content based on either if you're interviewing people who are experts or if you're creating a storyline as if it was like a show, like a TV show, but audio only. And so we want to make sure to have that like concept crystal clear, that foundation before you even begin to record anything. And then you get to, and so you can start as something as simple as using your phone to record these. Now, as an audio engineer, that's not the quality that I would love, but that's not the point. The point is you are getting your message heard in a platform that is worldwide. And again, people listen while they live. So just do it. Just get started. And then as you build that community, build that trust, you can start to build the quality of the podcast.
I love Gina, y'all. I love her. I want y'all to know she's like, I'm behind the scenes. You want me to talk in front of people? I'm like, yes. So I'm pushing her. So here's a question, because this is all good. And I don't know if you've seen some of the comments I'm putting up there where people are saying it's great.
Because I'm like, thank you.
So here's a question. Damia's asking, are there podcast marketing companies?
There are podcasts. That's a really good question. There are a number of like groups of podcast like production where they can help you in that whole process, where they will help with the social media portion of it and making sure that like you get ads that match what your show is. Now, I can't think of like right off the bat like the name.
We can get that. We can get them for them now. We can get that for you, Damia. Now, y'all remember, she's an audio engineer. She is a podcast production person. So here's another question from Latrice Jones. Why does this show exist? She's talking about like for podcasts. Who is your audience and what is your content platform? And these are great questions, Latrice, because you got to know why your show exists. And I can tell y'all how Gina walked me through, if I can, real quick. And I know we're running out of time, but we got to get this in here. When I sat down with Gina and we were talking, it was clear that I don't need a separate content. I can pull content from News in Motion and just expound on it. So she was like, oh, so that was perfect. That was perfect. So who's your audience? You got to identify your audience and what your content and platform is. Latrice says also just do it. There was another question I wanted to catch up here. Let me see. Sometimes people don't know where or how to even begin. So do you think they should just start with their story first, Gina?
Yes, that's where I think is. Well, yes, start with your story, and then if you're like, where do I begin in regards to like maybe the technical side of things, um, because how do you separate a podcast from like a Facebook Live? Um, I always say go to and we'll figure out how to put a link to buzzsprout.com. That's where all like my clients, most of my, this is just an example of a hosting site, but there's a hosting site, buzzsprout.com.
You said Buzzsprout.com.
Mm-hmm.
So Buzzsprout.com. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's fine. And like they have a 90 days free thing where you can get to know the platform, and all you like. So my thing to that is tell your story, tell who you are, explain the show. So basically do like kind of like a trailer, record a trailer, even if it's through your phone at first.
So wait a minute. I want to say that again. Record a trailer. You said tell who you are. What was the other two?
Yeah, explain or introduce who you are, who the show is, or what the show is and who it's for, and in like as a trailer, and call that your episode 0 and drop it in. That will start the process of getting it into directories for the podcast. And then you have to create like a cover photo and all of that. But the first step is introduce yourself, introduce the show, and get it connected to a host site. And there's many more, but like that's the first step, is get it out there, who you are and why the show exists.
Now, y'all, that's show 0. I don't know if y'all caught that. So if you missed it, you need to replay this later, because she just gave y'all some serious nuggets. She just gave y'all some serious consulting. I think you also answered Kim Edmondson's question. How do you get to be a podcast producer? Or is that another answer?
Is she asking me how I got?
I think she's asking anybody, if anybody wants to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, in regards to producing your own podcast, you literally just, like I said, you find what hosting site you want. And that's the main key, is find the hosting site you're going to use. And because that will get it out to the directories like Apple and things like that make it a true podcast. How, if they want to know how I got to be a podcast producer, I will answer that really quick. I am an audio engineer. I went to school at Capital University here in Bexley, Ohio. And that's my passion. My passion is all things audio. And then when I found out about podcasting and how I can help other people get their voice heard, I was like, yes, this is what I want to do.
I love it. Demia's asking, okay, y'all, we're going to go over a little bit. Hang with me, because I got a serious inspirational message. Demia's asking, can you pull audio from Zoom speaking engagements?
Yes, ma'am.
Got that answer. We'll type in there later about the best platform. Let me see. People are saying great info. Are podcast platforms like Anchor a good place to start?
I love that it's free. I have difficulty saying yes, please start an Anchor, and there's reasons for that, because it's you own your audio, but the problem is with Anchor and like the free sites, they can do whatever they want with it. So if they want, they can add an ad to it that has nothing to do with your show. So that's why I'm iffy about saying like go to the free, the like totally free platforms, because you can eventually move it over to a not free platform. But the reason I don't like refer people to Anchor or other things like that is because they can add whatever ads they want in the middle of your show.
Okay. So y'all heard that. Real quick, can you give us your information? And then when we come off, if somebody is grabbing it, post it in the thread. If not, I'll make sure we get it in there. So how can people reach you? And don't forget, before you share that, Gina, we're going to have her back on Patreon. So if you are a News in Motion Patreon member, it's going to be a more intimate group where you can ask all the questions you want for about 30 minutes. So go ahead. Let people know how they can reach you?
Honestly, the best place to reach me is here on Facebook. On Facebook is Gina Winks. That's my personal page. You can reach me at GINX. It's GINX. That's how you say GINX Media.
Thank you.
So I forgot to answer that. GINX Media on Facebook as well. And then I do all sorts of fun things with TikTok, actually. And that's at GINX Media as well on TikTok. And I go live there a lot. And so those are the main places that I am found.
Yeah, and you keep talking TikTok. Many other people saying, yeah, you need to get on TikTok. I'm like, I'm not ready to get on TikTok. All right. Well, thank you, Gina. Thank you. As you can see, people want this information. Y'all make sure you follow her at Gina Winks or GINX on her Facebook page. I'll also post her website as well. We'll connect so I can get you scheduled for Patreon. But love you. Mwah! And I can't wait to get started with my new launch. And y'all, awesome. So for those of you who are wondering what the new podcast is going to be called, we're moving from Something and Mimosas, because that's gone now, to hashtag Mimosa Friday. So we're real excited about that. So I am so excited to be working with Gina on my new podcast. I can't wait. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, y'all, we got to keep this party going. I know we're running a little over. Just give me a minute. Let's see. I'll go straight to the coronavirus numbers because it's the last day we'll be giving those numbers. 29,007,373 that have recovered. Again, 29,007,373 that have recovered. We're going to celebrate that recovery. We are now into 29 million. We had stayed with 28 million for a long time, but we're at 29,007,373. So there's that. Aren't y'all excited about Gina? I just love her. For the win, y'all, Serena Williams gets the win. She gets the win. She gets the win just because she gets the win. Inspirational message. 2 days ago, I talked about bold, brave, and brilliant. Yesterday, I talked about bold. Today, I'm going to real quickly talk about brave. You are brave. You're brave. So y'all, even as Gina was sharing, and it was so funny, she's like, I'm behind the scenes. I don't talk. I said, girl, come on out there. So, because of a relationship, I was able to push her out there. I see her still in the green room. She's laughing at me. I was able to put her out there. But y'all, look, she is a wealth of information. She's an expert. Y'all, she's an audio engineer. Hello, somebody. That's who she is. That's brave. So y'all, some of you are thinking about a podcast. Some of you are thinking about starting a business. Some of you are thinking about starting a nonprofit or a ministry. Some of you are thinking about doing something that you've never done before. It is time for you not to only be bold about it, but to be brave and go ahead and be about it, y'all. Be about it. Bravery starts within. It starts within. And you have to make the determination that today I choose to be brave. I choose to be brave and stand on whatever it is you want to stand on. I choose to be brave and speak. I choose to be brave and forgive. I choose to be brave and launch. I am making an intentional decision. That's Latrice Jones' word, intentionality. I'm making an intentional decision to be brave. To be brave, y'all, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Y'all know where I stand with that. To be brave. And it's within you, but you have to make the choice to bring it out of you. To be brave. We got to stop hiding behind people. We got to stop hiding behind stuff. And we need to come on out and choose. Make the choice. You're right, Gwen, to make a choice to be brave. Good morning, Pastor Latrice Washington. To be brave. Y'all, it is within you. It is within you. And if you don't know where to start, there are all kinds of people. Y'all, we're going to gather everybody who put their business out there yesterday, and I'm going to give you one more day to do it. Today's the last day. Starting tomorrow, we will be working with ads, and you can contact me and say, I want to put my stuff out there. Y'all, there's a fee that's going to be involved with that. Don't turn me off now. But listen, this is how we're going to do things. So today, you can do one more chance and drop in your business. Put it in the thread. Now, y'all, look through the thread, because there's somebody out there. If you're saying, I don't know how to take that next step, I don't know how to be bold, I don't know how to be brave, contact. There's going to be people in this link. Contact. If you're not in the link for today, go back to yesterday's broadcast and check it out there. But it's time for us to be brave. Y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed today's News in Motion. I know I was so excited about it. I'm so eager. I got to do this one last time. Please don't turn it off yet. Before I come off, I'll give you some parting words. But this is the last day for the Biden administration to try to get 70% of vaccination. If you have questions, look at this video right here. And don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. If you have any questions, check with your physician. If you have any questions, check with those of us who have already been inoculated. Y'all, they're talking about these are going to last for a long time. And those of you who actually had the coronavirus and ended up getting a shot after recovery, supposedly you're good. You're real good. So y'all check with that. Today's the last day, y'all. If you're in Central Ohio, there's still opportunities. Just contact me, Jakeithia. Don't bother Kenya. Again, y'all pray for her in the passing of her mom this past weekend. So don't reach out to her. Reach out to either me or Jakeithia if you want to get your vaccine here in Central Ohio. We can get that done for you today at OSU East. Y'all, today is the last day to hit that 70%. So you will no longer get that video. And I know y'all was loving that beat of that video. Y'all was talking about the bass. Congratulations again to the runner-up, Yvonne Gardner. I'll get your package to you. Inbox me your address. And congratulations to our winner, Ron Robinson. I'll get all this to you too. Since it's cash, I think I probably need to drop it off to you somewhere, buddy. But anyway, y'all have a great day. Y'all know what I say. Stay well and remember, make some moves.